date lines, and I just keep debunking him and showing him, look, I've already debunked that with this. I show him the video on my channel, but they just keep repeating the same nonsense, like I haven't debunked it, but it debunks it as far as I'm concerned. They can't prove to me they crossed into the Pacific.
Right.
How can you? You would need a globe to do that.
Yeah.
So the ocean in the west and the ocean in the east are two separate oceans. And if you look at the join on Google Earth, you'll see the two seas are actually different colours where they join.
Two different colours.
Yeah, yeah. You look at the ocean where the International Dateline join is, where they made it a Pac-Man world, and you'll see the two oceans are a different colour.
Ah, right. Yeah. Okay. What I'm not going to do is I won't open up the browser on this one because we got cut off just when we was talking about the. All right, Blood. We got Zoo Scott. Hello, Blood's back in. So okay, you.
How to fish with eels.
There you go. Yeah. So hopefully that will please the algorithms. Yeah. Oh dear. Well, yeah, I've no idea. Maybe this is it. I mean, it is a touchy subject, and obviously we know that whatever we do. This is why, I mean, I thought about this a lot, about putting my face on camera and things like that, and I thought, sod it, because no matter what you do, if someone wants to find you, they will. And I mean, I know, I didn't realise at first that we would be such a target, but obviously the more you get into this, the more you realise how.
Well, yeah, we're getting closer to home, so they're not going to like it.
Yeah.
Home. That's what we're all looking for, isn't it? Our home. What is it?
Yeah.
What the hell is it that we live on? We want to know what our home is. That's our birthright.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a real. I mean, it's difficult to even get to that point where you realise that we are sovereign, and how that's been given up. And hi, David. Thanks for coming back. And Jack's dreaming. Jason. All right. Yeah. So we're talking about fishing for eels. Very bland subject here. Nothing to do with anything else. No conspiratorial stuff here at all, ever. All right. We're keeping it very. Yeah. So hopefully.
No medical misinformation. Nothing.
Yeah.
We're just fishing for eels today.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing of the sort. Yeah. But
wouldn't that be funny now if, because you've renamed it, they leave it alone? Wouldn't that be funny?
We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, we should be absolutely free to explore creation, and it's funny, but I mean, this is the thing that gives the game away, isn't it? When you start talking about this, people get so irate that's one of the biggest clues that we are talking about something where people have fallen into a belief system and things like that. So as you said, you fully understand how difficult it is for people to get away from these things, and that's all we've ever been presented.
We've got to stop repeating nonsense we can't prove. That's what we've been doing. We've done that all our lives. They put something on TV. You'll go to work or school or whatever, and you'll repeat it like it was true. That's all we've ever done.
Yeah.
But we can't prove any of it, and neither can they.
No.
That's what makes me laugh. We can challenge them, and they cannot. They can't prove their claims. We know that now.
Right. Yeah.
So we're in the driver's seat here, Nick. We're all in the driver's seat in this arena, challenging mainstream, and they've thrown everything that they've got at us to try and stop it.
Yeah.
There's probably worse to come down the line, but so far we're doing a good job.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah. I mean, obviously they do a very good job of just keeping people dumbed down, I suppose, and there are continuing efforts to make it even worse. I mean, when you look at, I think a lot of the time, when you, for example, you guys, you're doing your research, and it's something that does come from the heart. It's something that we know has to be done because we know we've been duped. And
Oh, we do it with a passion. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a part in APM Research. There's a passion I've never seen before, including in myself.
Right.
This is to me. This is really exciting information.
Yeah.
We're uncovering topics and scraping the surface of
Hmm.
something that's been hidden for a very long time from us.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've kept it. They've gone well out the way to hide what this world is and how it
Hmm.
works. That's what it's
Hmm.
all about, people.
So, what do you? I mean, okay. So, yeah, it does come to that question. Why would they lie? Why would they hide it? What's wrong with us knowing how this place works, or the kind of place we're in? Because it's still vast. I mean, it's still there's so much. What ultimately is there a utopia that is there that's kind of kept out of reach, or what do you think?
Yeah. Well, when it comes to like maps and models, I've seen people challenge stationary flat earthers saying, well, what's your land sitting on? What's it on top of?
Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
my response to that's always going to be this, and Jason won't like me for this, but and I can't prove it. But
Mm.
here's my response to that statement. If we have to be living on an infinite plane. The reason being, how can the sky and landmass have an edge? And if it did, that puts you right back to a globe type scenario of something floating in fake space. It's ridiculous. We can't do it. So I would always say it's possibly an infinite plane. I can't prove it, but common sense tells me that's what we're looking at.
Right.
Otherwise, you're back to floating in something. It's floating in fake space, which we know is impossible.
Yeah.
So the ground is is the land.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
land is the ground. There's nothing propping it up in fake space. The land is the land. That's it.
Right. Yeah. 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 And this is it. I mean, any kind of thought experiment or whatever, it has a limit. Whether it's yeah.
Mm.
There's just even when you just try to contemplate eternity, we just can't. It is totally mysterious. Sorry, there's a comment from David Banner there. Maybe those other folk on other lands don't want to have us there. That's a good point. I mean, we're not the
Oh,
night. The
well,
night. Hmm.
you know, those sorry, those folk on the other lands are probably getting the same harassment we are because they're trying to hide it there as well. Who know? We have no idea. We have no idea what's going on outside of this map, have we?
Yeah, that's true.
We're
Yeah,
guessing.
yeah,
We're guessing at what's beyond what we're seeing on
uh-huh,
the screen.
uh-huh, yeah,
But what we do know, this is why they Pac-Manned it, Nick.
hmm,
Look where the luminaries, east and west has been hidden because where the luminaries come from and go to.
hmm,
Now, this is always going to be APM's investigation here on what's happening there with the luminaries.
hmm,
They're coming from somewhere from the east.
hmm,
They're going west. Now, what they do when they get west is what's very important
hmm,
because they have to get back to east to start again. And what we've been trying to do for the last 8 years is find these routes where the luminaries get back to start again at the east because they have to get everything that's in the sky has to get back east to start again,
right,
don't
hmm,
they?
yeah,
To make
yeah,
it work. And that's
hmm,
always going to be our avenue of research.
I see.
That's why the international date lines, I think they've cut them because it looks to me how I've modelled this. They take off from somewhere several thousand miles east of New Zealand, say,
Hmm,
travel across the map, shut down or whatever they're doing, and
hmm,
they have to get back east. Now, the 24-hour sun in the north, there's plenty of data shows it does it for a few months a year, not just 1 month. It goes on for months.
hmm,
And when you look at what they're showing from the south with this TFE, it's the same. It's the same thing, equal but opposite. Because what you're going to find, what we've done with this grid, the north part of the grid, look at the gates in the east. These gates and portals in the east that have synced with real world data here.
hmm,
Now, each one of them dots, where you see the green, that's a different month each. So the zodiac is actually created by the configuration of these gates. So that's where the zodiac come from. That was a new one for me. I thought, wow, I've decoded what creates the zodiac,
hmm,
the
hmm,
configuration of these gates. So I had to try and work out a sequence of it moving up and down there that made any sense. And it does
hmm,
make sense now how I've got it. And this is how the days get shorter and longer. If you look at
hmm,
the angle of them gates to one another. And that is actually referenced in the Book of Enoch. the gates and the angles to one another are actually referenced in the Book of Enoch. And I thought, wow, how can the Book of Enoch be referencing something from the Nasca Lines? That's the same. They're talking about the same thing, aren't they?
Right. Yeah. So along with the Nasca Lines, we've got depictions of animals and things like that. So, do you think it's right to assume that they represent constellations?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done any constellation work and I can't prove that, but yes, we're looking at constellations and different frequencies because, you notice that the Nasca Lines, you've got birds and you've got land animals, and then you've got sea mammals as well. So, your high, medium, and low frequencies or subsonic frequencies even can be covered by using those type animals. And like accelerator research, and probably jumping a bit far ahead here, going into the lunar waves and such. We know there's halos in the sky that get revealed at certain times, or if there's a luminary pass in the background, you will capture it. So we're seeing transparent stationary luminaries in the heavens above cities, and they can be revealed as a luminary passes. And that's the top and bottom. You've got a physical technology below and its effects above, and these are some of the effects we actually see from how it works.
Right.
Because we're getting back onto the technological aspect of it now, because that is a big part of our research. How proving this technology, trying to evidence it in nature, and explain it, where it actually makes sense. And when we explain it, like in holy books, it mentions the windings in the sky. Well, how can we have windings in the sky? Well, that's the spiral. We'll go back to the spiral again, the spiraling pressure wave coming from these halos.
Right, I see. Yeah.
Which, this is how torus fields get created.
Okay.
There's another good thing for APM research. A lot of people always talk about torus fields, and then they'll wander off and tell you all kinds about torus fields, but not one of them can ever tell you how it even gets created.
That's true. Yeah.
But we can.
Okay.
all it takes is two counter-rotating coils, which is what CERN is doing.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
To make an electromagnetic field, all you need is two counter-rotating coils.
Okay.
And that would create an electromagnetic field. Now, on the scale we're talking, that would have to have a signature in nature, wouldn't it? Which is where the rainbow comes from.
Right.
The rainbow, we're not mapping the rainbow itself. The rainbow is an effect. The cause of the rainbow is this electromagnetic field below the rainbow.
Okay.
That's what we're actually mapping. We're up with to us, they're torus fields that create the nature in your locale. Now, I want you to go. I'm probably jumping ahead of where we were, am I?
No, I know that we're kind of. It's kind of, because I was just kind of thinking, okay, I wanted to make sure there's a kind of understanding of what you mean. So first of all, let's just have a look at these circles and these concentric circles. What do they represent?
They represent to me the stars. If you look at the outer larger one, right?
Yeah.
There's you can see North Star at the top and the Southern Cross one at the bottom, say.
Okay.
Now, if I was to revolve that from those two pivot points, east to west, at such a rate, it would leave the star pattern in the sky, wouldn't it?
Or just rotating them, you mean?
Yeah, if it's revolving east to west from the pivot points in the north and south.
Okay.
In fact, it is an easy way, Nick. Grab a skipping rope, right?
Yeah.
Face west and start skipping.
Right.
That's what the stars are doing. That motion we're seeing from the skipping rope is what the stars do every day, right? So your right hand would be your north pole and your left hand would be your south pole. Now this also debunks a globe, because that's what the stars are actually doing. I've modeled this, and it addresses all the star trails motion. It works perfectly.
Okay.
So there is no counter rotation of stars in the south, which debunks a globe, because they're all revolving east to west. Get a skipping ropes, skipping face west. That's exactly the star rotation. We are inside that rotation. That's why people get confused looking north or looking south. No, don't look north or south. Just look west. Grab a skipping rope, start skipping. You will see your hands making the exact same rotational motions as the star trails are doing in the north and south. That debunks the globe and pizza maps. Stars don't work on the pizza maps, by the way. They get broken in the south.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I'm saying that they're stars, they might not be. Whatever they are, that's the configuration of them. I've got them on this grid, and if I revolved them, it would do exact same motion as I just mentioned with a skipping rope. So they could be what creates stars. I don't know. I have no idea how many dots go around these. That's just an image I used with X amount of dots on. To get the real amount of dots, I would need to know how many star trails there are.
Okay.
And then put all them dots around the outer one, so we get the same amount of numbers.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mentioned that in the video. If someone tells me how many star trails there are between the North Pole and the South Pole, and then all we have to do then is double it, and then we've got the correct amount of stars in the sky for that one anyway.
Yeah.
Here's another good thing, Nick. Notice on that halo, right, that outer one, you've got small nodes and big nodes. Yeah, you see them small, big, small, big. When you look at the stars in the north, they're exactly the same. The star trails in the north, you'll see thin, small ones and thicker, larger ones. Right. Is that another coincidence? Have a look at that carefully, and you'll see what I mean.
Okay. Yeah. This is it. I mean, you do when you look at.
There is a sequence of small, large, small, large, small, large, as you see them spiraling out from the north from Polaris.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know that it does appear to be something that's kind of separate. It is very difficult to kind of envisage, regardless of what kind of map you're looking at. So, yeah, I like your analogy though, the skipping rope one.
Yeah, it's an easy one, and that does show you there is no counter rotation in the south, right. And that works perfect. Like I said, I've animated it. And the star trails we see in the sky, it matches them perfectly. So that skipping rope analogy is a perfect way of explaining what's happening. And we're inside that rotation, wondering what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if we're talking about electromagnetism, then basically there has to be kind of, I suppose, the way we see it is there are. Okay. For a moment, you talked about the torus. So. Obviously, things could be. When you talk about a torus, do you mean that we're kind of in the middle, and there's a top and a bottom? There's things above and below, or?
Yeah. Well. The way I mean torus field, what I mentioned it there is like sticking out of the ground. We've got a half sphere sticking out the ground with a rainbow over the top of it.
Right.
That's that's half of a torus field sticking out the ground, because the other half's obviously down below somewhere.
Right. Okay.
And that's what you're going to find with your rainbows, Do you want me to get into rainbows now, or leave that for a bit later?
No, that's cool. We could, but just obviously, yeah. Juniper in the chat just mentioned a positive and negative charge. So yeah, ultimately, that's kind of what we're talking about, isn't it? We've got this kind of If you're talking about electromagnetism, which is something that we can obviously, to an extent, recreate.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we can a quick jump back to creation stories. Your Adam and Eve, I've actually decoded it as being it represents male, female, positive, negative, or electromagnetism.
Right.
So Adam, the Eve, the apple, and the snake is a small halo being Adam, the large halo being Eve. The apple is the torus field, and the snake is the way it interfaces within the app. Interface, as in like what you see with tornadoes and waterspouts. That's what we're calling interface events.
Okay.
And if you look at the way I decoded the Adam, Eve, apple, and snake, you'll see how it creates the torus field, which also elevates the poles on the halo that's creating it. And this is what we're seeing in the sky. These lunar waves are the effect of this technology doing that procedure.
Right. So okay, we've got movement, and this is creating changes in pressure. And okay, you talk about pressure as not necessarily. Okay, there are changes.
Oh yeah, pressure. Good topic, Nick. Because we can get onto the dome now, can't we?
So you essentially see this as having a dome, yeah?
No. It doesn't actually need one. It doesn't need one.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Because these halos create the pressure system, and all the noble gases and elements. So there's no requirement for a dome. So there's nothing. There's no containment. It doesn't need containment because it's them creating the pressure. Like, if you see a halo over the sea, when that switches on, that's going to push the tide out. That electrical pressure is going to push the tide out. This is what's creating tides.
Okay.
And if
Okay.
you look at tides, there are times, the 6 hours, the tide will go out, it comes back in. This is pressure changes from these halos are doing what they do.
Right. Okay.
So
So
that's
halos. So
so
what?
no dome is required. The
Right.
dome model, the dome comes with the pizza maps. I've never agreed with them. There's no proof of a dome. You don't actually need one. They say they
Right.
need it for a pressure system. Well, we don't in our model. This electromagnetic technology creates all these pressures.
I see.
Electric and magnetism. There's a good video on Roy's channel, Vinny St. Vincent. That was the first time Wade noticed it when he was playing with electrical wire. You could see the water reacting to it. It was trying to move away from it,
Right.
which is, this is what you're seeing with the sea.
Yeah.
The sea's reacting to this technology. That's why they're never at rest unless they switched off.
Okay.
There's constant motion being created by this technology. It's
Right.
spiraling pressure waves, and that's what you call them waves that we see on the seas and in the air.
Right.
So wind and waves now can have an answer.
Yeah.
And tides, and tides. I mean, it answers a lot more than people realise. You'd have to go through all our videos to see what we've, been putting out and
Right. Sure. Yeah.
working with over the years.
You've
There's that many
done-
topics now, I can't remember them all.
Yeah, you've done a lot, and yeah, I think this is the thing, isn't it? When you come into this, then yeah, you do have to change everything that we've assumed to be true. Just kind of start from a clean slate. But yeah,
That's what we did. That's what we did from the start. We said we've got to throw everything away we think we know, start again, and see what we can get out of it. And that's kind of how our research went. And it's answering a lot more questions than we've got more answers than questions. We've answered a lot of people's questions that they haven't even thought of yet. We know we've put work out there that people haven't formulated a question to even relate to that work yet. They're not, they haven't come across this work, so they don't know that topic exists, kind of thing.
Okay, so do you think it's okay? I did want to cover obviously halos and rainbows, but just to kind of on the kind of the physical nature first. I mean, do you think there should be some effort to explore the now? If we look at this map, the far west, the far north, and yeah.
Yeah, because now we've got an idea what's going on at the date lines. It would be easy to catch them out, wouldn't it? That's why you want anyone that's their flight's alleged across the international date lines, GPS it, take a compass with you, and let us know what you find. Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find the real paths.
Right.
We know they can't go east and west and north and south to get outside of the map to cross it to the other side. So they have to, there's hidden flight routes. We know there's some in the north, and the Globers did try and debunk us once. They flew from Australia to South America. Well, it was a straight line west, Nick. They didn't fly east to get there. They had to fly west. So I would say straight away, why didn't you go east? Because you can't. Right. You'd have to. It's a Pac-Man, so you can't. So you have to fly west from Australia to get to South America, which they did, and it was a straight line west. It was a straight line west flight.
So you're saying even if sorry just to get some clarity there.
Yeah,
so even if it might. Well, yeah, I get it now, because on a Pac-Man globe or flat or AE map, then you're doing a constant east or a constant west. But actually, even if that's represented as an east or a west on a map, the actual direction you might be flying might not correlate to the east or west. That's
you can't. Yeah. Like I said, like that example there. Australia to South America. The only way they can go to it is west. If they flew east, they would carry on going to where the sun's coming from. In our model, it's gone out. It's gone beyond the international date lines and over these somewhere.
Right.
That's where Amelia Earhart's flight went missing.
That's right. I remember you mentioning that last chat. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So to me, that was in 1937. So to me, she triggered World War II, which started in 1939, which is when they started planting flags at Antarctica. But World War II was triggered. They realised people's now got access to aircraft. They can fly any direction they want, and they better put a stop to it. Cue World War II. Cue World War II, because it was controlling these perimeters. That's what they did.
Yeah. That seems to be come
Because
into where.
isn't it funny? All these people that's against each other in the world, Russia and America. It's a good cop, bad cop routine. They're on the
Sure.
same team.
Yeah.
Space agencies, nuclear industry, and particle accelerators. They're all working together
Right.
because
Right.
this technology and those departments are all related to hiding the world and how it really works.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think their ultimate goal really is with the particle accelerators then?
Well, to us, they're already here. These are the creator's glory, and for them to steal them, they have to pretend they're building them and doing whatever they say they're doing with them. How many alleged particle colliders do we need to collide particles? Because it seems you can buy them on eBay now. There's that many popping up. They've got 30,000.
Really?
Honest Abdul sells them on eBay. I'm sure he does. Well, why does everyone need a particle accelerator all of a sudden? No, this is if you want to steal the creator's glory and enslave the world, this is the only way you can do it. You have to close the world off using the international date lines and North and South treaties, and then start pretending you're building this technology down below when actually you're really just painting it up and redressing it and monitoring it and telling lies.
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing. This is how serious it gets now because that's what we're looking at. At the end of the day, someone built this and they deserve their credit for it.
Right. That's true. Yeah. 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 So when you,
You
you
know,
know, when,
and like we were talking about earlier, there's no magic wand here. It's built by hand. How was it built? How can we science it? Yes, we can. This is exactly what we've been doing for the last 8 years. We're sciencing this technology and what it's really doing.
okay. So, um,
We just didn't realize it was the scale we're looking at is huge. We didn't realize it was such a big scale, but it is.
it is massive. Yeah. I mean, there's still places that are obviously unexplored. Um,
Yeah.
and
Going back to exploration, if
yeah.
I would say go east of New Zealand several thousand miles, and you will see where the sun and the luminaries are coming from. Odds that grid there that we're using, that's where they're coming from.
Right. Right.
Now
Right.
what you're seeing happening there, that I sync that with the sunrise angles from time and date for New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
So this is real world data I'm using, so people can check the sunrise angles and everything themselves. We're not pulling the wool over anyone's eyes. We're using what data we've got access to make this work and make sense, which is what you're seeing on the screen now. This is
Okay.
this has got to this point where we can animate this quite easily and show how this is where the sun is in June. Now it's in
Right.
July. And you can see now that the days are going to get longer.
Mm-hmm.
Now they say our summer's the shortest days and the equinox is no, they say the summer's the longest days and the equinox is the shortest, don't they? That's actually back to front if you look at this grid.
Okay.
The longest days are the equinoxes and the
Really?
shortest are the solstices. So they're even telling us that back to front.
Okay.
We wouldn't know that because they're outside of the date lines. You can't see it, but we can prove that, Nick, because if you look at where the sun is at now, you time the sun going past you in the morning, right? Come summer, do it again, and you're going to find there's a massive difference between where it is at those times of day. And that's because of how it's working its way up and down this gate sequence. So in winter, we see it sooner, and in spring, we see it later. Now, you'll have heard people say the sun or the moon speeds up and slows down. This is exactly why. It's not speeding up or slowing down. It's got further to travel or shorter distances to travel, depending on where it is on the gate sequence.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't necessarily have to be going. Yeah. It's just
Yeah, and here's another thing with that, connected to that, the how they mess about with the times, the daylight savings.
right.
They're trying to compensate to hide this by adding and removing an hour's time because you are gonna see a big difference in time between spring and summer of where you see it in the sky. Come summer, when you look at the grid now and there, and you look at June's the top left one on that east gate, it's going to arrive sooner and exit sooner, whereas the ones
Right.
in the equinox is going to arrive much later because it's got a longer distance to travel. We can prove that. We've seen it do it.
Okay.
Because when you get up in winter, you say, "Oh, the sun's," this, you get up and you think, "Well, the sun's there already." Normally, it's further back east. Yeah, because it's moving up and down this grid sequence to do what it's supposed to be doing, or be where it's supposed to be.
Right. It's more a case of it being further away, got longer to travel than
Yeah, yeah.
than.
And there's obviously front gates and rear gates, which I'm marked on there. Now, in the Book of Enoch, he does mention that the sun uses 6 gates.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
if you look at the equator, Nick,
Yeah.
what this configuration of grid is doing, it's giving the north 6 gates and it's giving the south 6 gates. So each of those gate sequences either side of the equator is giving the north and south equal but opposite seasons. That can only be by design. That's that's the perfect design. Like there, that's the north's autumn and the south's spring.
Okay.
So we've got equal and opposite seasons in the north and south taking place due to the configuration of this grid. It has to be by design. It's so perfect.
Sure. It's funny. They give us this idea of a Goldilocks zone and all that stuff. It's just, and that's probably, once you get to that realization that it's intelligent design, and we can describe it, we can observe it, we can like you've done, map it to an extent, but. Yeah,
and like I said, you will notice that easily. The arrival of the sun, the timing of it between summer and between the solstices and equinox is a big difference in time where that sun is in the sky.
Okay.
And this configuration of grid answers that.
Right. Okay.
As does the Book of Enoch. The Book of Enoch goes into detail about the gates and the timing and the lightening and darkening of days.
Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty amazing how it comes together, that part of it.
Okay, so back onto angels. What do you actually mean by angels? Or let's just go there.
Right. What they're calling angels, or that's our culture. We have what we call angels.
Mm-hmm.
You look around the world, there's other cultures got names for things, and people don't know what they relate to. So you got like Anunnaki, cherubim, seraphim. All these strange names that no one knows what it refers to. Is it a people? What is it? So to us they are personifications of this technology. So what you find in what they've done in books is they personified the technology to actually help explain it, either being a male or a female. Positive, negative, left hand rule, right hand rule. It all comes down to electromagnetism. So they are personifications, especially when you look at stained glass windows. You will see characters with like a halo behind the head. Yeah. Right. The halo is the technology, and the person is a personification of that technology. Is what I decoded.
Okay.
They give it a female character, like Mary, say, and then they'll tell a story. Same with the male character. There's a story that follows that personification, and it's all down to trying to tell you how this world works, or how that particular angel works. Depends what the story is you're looking at.
Right.
What you're going to find is you've got your local angels, and then your national or international ones. Like the sun, that would be an international angel going across the map. So every culture is going to be aware of it and have a story for it. Then you've got your local hero ones, which come into your creation stories. You're going to see more of that soon. We're going to bring them to life. But you've got your local ones, which will have local, like hero tales and things like that. Glyphs, myths, legends, things like that will be associated with this local one because it's local and known, or it was at the time anyway. Thanks to indoctrination, we've got all that. But you had your local ones and your national and international.
Okay.
Now how they work? Oh, should I say, like say in the morning the sun rises and it's coming towards you in your locale. Your grid of angels is going to be activated and come on to support these in a supporting role. Every morning they're going to switch on. You're going to see clouds rising in the distance, going up. And these are clouds are caused by this technology. These are Eve's columns that she sends up to Adam. Adam being the anode in the sky. Eve's the cathode in the ground, and Adam's the halo in the sky. He sends her columns up to Adam, who flattens the top of them. This is how they structure the layers. So you've got columns of cloud going up. So there's your vertical magnetism, right? Magnetism's got vertical polarity in the troposphere. The tropopause, just above that, is where the electron flips 90 degrees and that's what creates that layer. This is Adam creating a layer flipped over 90 degrees in opposition to Eve. So anything he's outputting is now going spiraling outwards, horizontally. So we've got vertical columns going up and the horizontal plane spreading out. If you look at clouds drifting by in the sky, you'll see different layers doing it. You'll see them, they're all going in different directions.
True. Yeah.
That's the male layer, doing what it does. So what it makes is a shape like a cross. This is where your crucifix comes from. The vertical bar of a crucifix is Eve's electromagnetic polarity, and the horizontal bar of the crucifix is Adam's electric plane.
I see.
So your crucifix represents the structuring of the layers. That's what it actually represents.
Okay.
It's like a T-shape. T-shape.
Right. Yeah.
But it's depicted as a cross. So, yeah, because it does go up through it, and this is the Vesica Pisces. The vertical bar is where the Vesica Pisces gets created.
You know what you? Go on. Sorry.
I was going to say, where two halos overlap, you've got an eye shape, haven't you? That's the Vesica Pisces where they overlap. And that's where you're going to find tornadoes and waterspouts are actually doing a lot of the action. You're going to see two flows going in opposite directions within each other. This is the interface event of Adam and Eve. Okay. This is how they generate electric and create elements. But it's a lot to take in, but there's a video we made to show how that takes place in the atmosphere. And like I says, water spouts and tornadoes, we've got to work in tornado theory with this technology now.
I see. Yeah. Well, yeah, you take the physical phenomena that you see and that is real, and you see what you can make of it. Sorry, I just wanted to say that the way, it's funny, isn't it, the way the stories are given, or the halos are given personification. It reminds me of how, for example, what's that martial art that was disguised as a dance because it was performed by slaves who didn't want the slave owners to know that they were actually practicing a fighting technique? It's one of those. Do you know you know what I mean? But it's.
Is that the Gundam one? Is it?
I can't remember. It's some kind of. Again, I can't remember where it comes from, but it's. I suppose. Yeah, this is ultimately what we're maybe talking about here. Why do they have to personify it? Is it a way of kind of putting that message out there, saying it, but without saying what it actually is? Because it has to be secret.
They're expressing something. I see what you mean now. Yeah. It's another expression of this, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Because that's what you're going to notice that, Nick. When you start looking at our research, we do code sacred geometry, and you're going to start seeing it. You're going to see it in jewelry, it's on coinage.
Right.
It's in movies, it's in songs, dances. It just keeps popping up everywhere. The more you learn of our research, the more you start to see it everywhere, and you get to a point you think, how did we miss all this before? We see it's blatant, obvious now.
Yeah.
That it's all expressions of this technology and how it works.
Yeah. When you look at in English, we kind of call it feng shui, but in the kind of Chinese way they call it hong zhui, don't they? Where, for example, you see it a lot in Thailand because there's a massive Chinese influence in Thailand, but you might have a kind of lion with its outside an entrance. You've got a lion with its paw on one of these geometric, what do they call that? That kind of infinite, the kind of three-dimensional mandala, you know what I mean?
Yeah, an analema thing.
Yeah, it's like like that. It's geometric sphere, but it's made up of all these, I suppose, triangles or interconnected.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, you'll have there's a meaning depending on which paw is on, on this thing. But
that would come down to being like right hand rule or left hand rule, which is electricity or magnetism. Your right and left hand rules are going to, in this case, it's going to refer to electro or magnetism, one or the other.
Yeah. Okay.
That is a real electrical terminology, right hand rule and left hand rule. It's down to it's showing you the flow, and where magnetism would be in opposition to that flow. Which creates, like it says, it's 90 degrees in opposition, so it creates that T shape, which is a cross.
Right.
The
Okay.
sacred cross, it decodes the sacred cross, doesn't it? And all these crosses decode the same.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So it's again, it's the more expressions of this technology, revealing itself.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people, people depict all these things, and they don't realize what they're depicting no more. But this is what it's depicting. It's relating to this technology. It's not a religion. Religion was introduced into our side of the world after the Roman invasion, somewhere around 400 AD. It's an alien belief system, not of our lands. It's an Abrahamic belief system. We didn't have a belief system before they came. We understood how this world worked before they came, because all the sacred geometry I'm decoding is telling me so.
Right.
We all
Right.
knew what it all meant at some point in history, yet we've all forgot now. Yet you'll notice these people depict it everywhere, and people call it satanic. Well, no, that's just these words are there to scare you away from it, so you don't look at it. They
Right.
like to desecrate and scare you, desecrate or scare you away from it, so you don't look and query it. That's
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
Same with the rainbow. They desecrated the rainbow by association. You see how
Okay.
they
So
do it
yeah,
now, can't you?
let's move on to that. The kind of your kind of research into rainbows and how maybe other people can help contribute, because that's something that's kind of at the forefront of your mind at the moment, isn't it? Or your research, right?
It makes it so easier to, we can bypass a lot of the flat Earth minefields, introducing them to our work just by doing the rainbow research. And then, the flat Earth can come later. How it works is more important to me than the shape of it, because I don't think anyone's ever going to figure out the shape of it. The shape's irrelevant to me as far as I'm concerned. We know
Right.
it's level, we know it's stationary, it's got peaks and troughs,
Yeah.
and we don't know the scale of it. We probably never will know the scale of it. How it
Right.
works is what's more important. So if we can show people start mapping your rainbows. Once you see a rainbow, just remember this: it's always going to be where you saw it. I remember places from when I was a kid, Nick, where I've seen rainbows. I could go there today, a
Uh-huh.
long time, a long time later, and I
Uh-huh.
know it's still going to be. I know now it's still going to be there.
Okay. Um, yeah,
So
that is.
this. So what are you going to do with your rainbow? See, once you find a rainbow, it's going to be in the same place, but be careful, because there's not just one. There's at least four or more, and they're all different sizes. So what you've got to do is find out which one you're looking at. So
Ah.
how we tell them to map it by its GPS center,
Uh-huh.
which you can obtain just by looking at its diameter. Look at the black band, the Alexander band in the rainbow, right? That's the dark band. That's actually the halo below, flipped up at 90 degrees. So you're seeing, a configuration of halo, and we can use that to gauge the diameter of what that halo is down below. Because once you put a line from one side to the other, we can put a circle there, and we know exactly where the center is. Because that's what we're mapping. Remember, we're not mapping the rainbow itself. We're mapping the torus field below it that's creating the rainbow, which is a sphere. Which is what if you look at the Alexander band, it's a black circle. It's a halo. It's all we have to do is put it on the ground, and there's your diameter.
Okay. So the
That's the diameter
Alexander.
of the halos. Yeah,
Sorry, the Alexander band is something we can see in a rainbow.
yeah. It's the black band in between the two sets of colours you see either side of it. Hold on. Let me get one of my videos up on screen. That would probably help.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not okay. I'm not gonna. The last time I clicked on the browser, then that's when we lost the connection.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's okay. Let me do it then.
but yeah, that's not.
Right,
It's not going to show up on our stream.
where we are.
Uh,
There it is. Can you see that?
hang on a second. Okay, I'm just. All right. Yeah, just so the audience knows, I'm not going to show this because I don't want to risk jamming the stream again.
Right. Okay.
But you're showing me a picture of a rainbow.
Right. Yeah, I see what you mean now. The audience
Yeah,
can't see it.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, but
Let's see now. How can we do it?
uh,
I mean, you can stop with that video if you want, and let me screen share, and then they'll see what I'm sharing if you want.
I'll give it a go. So, all right. Well, if
You stop screen sharing that one, it won't lag you then, will it?
okay, let me try and yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
you
just
stop
stop
that and let me screen share this. This is just one of our Rainbow Warriors videos of the various rainbows they've been capturing.
Okay, just a second. Let's see if that'll work. Okay, boom. All right, let's bring you. I'll get rid of myself a second. Turn me off. Okay. All right. Well, that doesn't seem to have caused a problem. So, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm screen sharing now, so you have to allow me to screen share in the Hangout.
Oh yeah, yeah. It should be showing now. Oh, yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Oh, so it is.
You
Right,
see it?
right. I'll let that play. It's
Uh-huh.
just I've muted it. Oh, don't worry. So there's no you won't hear music. Right. See this one here? You can see
Uh-huh.
that, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right. See slightly to the left. You'll see part of the outer band of it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Double rainbow. Now in between there is a black band we call the Alexander band. Yeah.
I see.
Now look very carefully, Nick, when it's coming down. This is in the foreground. Look, you can see it in the foreground. It's actually right there.
Yeah.
Right
Uh-huh.
there
Uh-huh.
is so we would mark there, and
Uh-huh.
then the same with the other side.
I see.
So Smithy's going to pan to the right, and we can see it comes down over there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So she can go on Google Earth now and gauge the diameter of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that will, once we've got the diameter, we can put that on Google Earth, and it'll give us the GPS center of it. The center's just the middle of the rainbow, the central point.
Okay.
Which, like it says, we can gauge that by getting the left side and the right side of the rainbow. So if you can grab some altitude,
Mm-hmm.
like it shows you on there, you can actually see where it comes down and touches the ground. That's a really good way of marking them because it doesn't get any better than that. Right. We've got Phil in our chat. He's been up close with one with his drone, looking down at it.
Really?
You can see the full with the drone. You can see a full circle. You can see the full circle from the air.
Oh, so you mean it looks like a dome from the air? Is that what you're saying?
No, to us at the to us on the ground, it looks like a dome, doesn't it? Because we're seeing half a sphere sticking up the ground. But when you take a drone up, or if you look at one from altitude, you actually see the full circle rainbow encircling it.
Okay.
Have you never seen one?
I have from an aircraft. I've seen a
Right,
full
yeah,
circle.
yeah. Well, that works. It works with drones and everything. Or you just need a bit of altitude, and you will see them.
Okay.
And it does reveal the full circle. So all the circle it's an effect caused by that torus field refracting and reflecting lights from the sun into droplets of water in the atmosphere. That's what's creating the rainbow.
Okay. Yeah. It's fascinating.
So it's refracted and reflected light off the sun or any other bright source for that matter. The moon can do it at night. And that's what it reveals. This is what's revealing your rainbow. Now, mainstream will tell you water creates the rainbow. No, it doesn't. No. If that was the case, when it rained, we'd be tripping over rainbows, wouldn't we?
That's true.
It'd be everywhere. Every water droplet would be throwing a rainbow in our faces somewhere, wouldn't it? No, it's ridiculous. No, the torus field, light, and there's some moisture is all you need to reveal the electromagnetic field. Because I said this years ago, Nick, with the sun halos and the moon halos, the ice crystals and moisture allow us to see the electromagnetic world is what's really taking place.
That's a really, really poignant point. Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So say that again, just so it's for clarity, yeah?
Right. Water and ice crystals allow us to see the electromagnetic world, which is the spirit world. This is the spirit world the ancients speak of.
Right.
The spirit world is the electromagnetism all around us, and that's what you're seeing here. It's revealing the spirit world to us.
Right.
And the spirit being the electromagnetic nature of this technology.
Okay.
So ice crystals and water is revealing what's something there. That you're going to find this now. When you see a rainbow, it's always going to be there. And the only time you can see it is because water and sun. It's been at the right. You put the sun behind you, it's easy to find them. They're revealing it. Next time you see it, you'll say, "Well, it's revealing. It's still there now. It's not creating it. It's revealing it."
Yeah, good point.
These are there all the time. And that's all we need to reveal it is water and ice crystals.
Yeah,
And a bit of light. Yeah, and a bit
yeah,
of light. I'll
yeah.
leave this plain anyway because I might as well leave
Yeah,
it plain.
that's
So
that's brilliant. Yeah, yeah. So you would like people to contribute to this if they can. Yeah, you'd like people to observe rainbows and try and get their GPS location and send it to
yeah,
you. Yeah.
yes.
Hmm.
No, there's a guy in your chat called Bob Question saying, "Sorry, position of the rainbow depends on the position of your head." No, it doesn't.
Mm.
When you see a rainbow, it's always going to be where you see it, and the only thing that changes is it'll appear to be revolving. That's all. That's down to the sun's position. Because if you look at an hour later, you'll see the rainbows revolve round more. It's just the light, the sun's incidence of light, reflecting off that electromagnetic sphere.
Right. You're just changing your
Every
perspective of it. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not telling people to walk or run. I want you to stand still. Just stand still. You start
Mm.
moving, your angle to the light on that sphere is going to change. So
True.
people say, "Oh, but rainbows move." No, it's because you're moving. Stop
Yeah,
moving, and it'll stop moving.
that's true.
The only time it moves is if you do or the sun does.
Right.
But it's not moving. It's just what you're going to find on a time lapse. The rainbow actually revolves right round the sphere that it's sitting on.
Ah. Okay.
So it's not moving away from you. It's slowly revolving around the sphere that sits on top of.
Okay. Yeah. Now that picture there that you've got up there, it's interesting. Wow, that's beautiful. I remember noticing, or someone pointed it out to me a while ago, that inside that for dome, for want of a better word, is much. Is it? It's much brighter than outside, isn't it? Have I got that
Yeah,
right?
you can look, you can see it there in that image right there. See it?
If you just go back to the one you were just
Yeah,
there.
that one there in that field. That shows you that quite well. You can see a
Yeah.
difference in light on the outside and the inside of it. See that there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, have you ever noticed them days where you look outside and everything's got like an orange tinge to it,
Yeah. Yeah.
or there's a reddish tinge, or a
Purple or
indigo type
something. Yeah.
tinge?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's these spheres.
I see.
It's the spheres below rainbows doing it.
Mm. Mm.
So
Yeah.
like that one there, look, that one would be an easy one to mark, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Very
It
easy.
would.
You can see it's coming down. It's in the foreground of that hedge, that tree line there. So that's one side of it right there.
Right.
The other
Yeah.
side, yeah, just somewhere beyond that house. So that gives
Right.
you the diameter of that sphere.
Okay.
I take the rainbow away, and what you're looking at is a sphere sticking out of the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we're mapping. We're mapping the
Right.
sphere. Although I
Right.
say the rainbow's
Right.
just an effect
Okay.
created by the sphere of light and water.
So, um, so just to summarize there, basically, when you see a rainbow, they're going to be in the same place, basically. So there are certain
Yeah, once you
geographical
found one,
locations.
it's always going to reside there. Yes,
I
yeah,
see.
and then you'll
Okay.
know if you found one.
Right.
And what we're finding is that they seem to be coming in groups of 4 or more.
Really?
What you're going to find is, where that one's come down, you'll find there's another one slightly overlaps it, and it's bigger or smaller than it. So what
Okay.
people are doing is mapping them and then looking for the others. It's just going to be a slow, long process, but it's
Right.
exciting because they know that now resides there permanently. They can go out and catch it anytime they want.
Wow. Yeah. So, and what do you think is so? These are energetic nodes or something, or what would you say is happening there?
That's the accelerator or angel below that site, and this is their signature. That's the signature of the angel, of its halo.
Okay. Say that again, please. Sorry, I was just a little bit distracted.
The rainbow is the signature of electromagnetism from this technology.
Okay. So this is emanating from the ground, going up.
Yeah.
Is this
From the halo down below and creating an electromagnetic sphere that sticks up above the ground. Yes.
right?
So you can see the other half's actually operating in the underworld, isn't it?
Right.
The bit we can't see is operating below. We're just seeing the above part of it.
Okay, gotcha. Now, there's. Am I right to assume, from what that I've heard recently, that the further away, well, let's say, for example, you go to somewhere like Antarctica, the rainbows are a lot lower? Or-
No.
No, this is
No.
not. Okay.
No. It depends what it's doing. And, it might be a small one. Like I say, there's different size ones. If you get a small one, we've seen one that's 200 meters in diameter. and
Right.
others that's like 17 mile wide.
Okay. Okay. So
So
yeah.
yeah, it
Right.
depends which one it is in the stack. They come in, like I said, groups of 4 or 6,
Okay.
and we need to find it. Slowly over time. Hopefully, we'll get them mapped, and
Right.
the configuration of them. Is it 4 or 6 that create this group?
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, have you got any kind of confirmation that these relate to, for example, ley lines and where they've put some of these capital cities, for example, London, Washington?
Oh
What
yeah,
have,
yes,
yeah,
yeah,
really?
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, just where I am alone, Nick, I've mapped 6 around me already. I can't put mine online because it would expose where I actually live.
Right.
So mine will be the last you get to see. But I've done this. I've done that here. I've mapped them. I know where they are, and I've actually just found a new one. Well, it's not a new one. It was one outside of my area,
Uh-huh.
but the wind changed recently, and because what you're going to notice, the wind direction. An easy way to locate them if you can't see them. The wind goes towards them. That's Eve sucking the wind towards her to pass up to Adam. So the wind direction, or weather vanes for that matter, watch your weather vane. That'll point to the nearest active angel.
Really?
That's pointing. The wind's going that way towards that one there. So all you have to do is look in that direction, and you'll find one when when the conditions are right, when the sun and some moisture's there, you will see the rainbow.
Wow, fascinating. Wow.
There
This
is
is
lots, that's what we've been doing over the last few years, and we're
uh,
teaching the Rainbow Warriors in our Discord, all this information, what to look for,
right.
including things like a sacred well. Every one of them's got a sacred well because
Oh,
there's a water outlet comes from them. All these connect together, create streams and rivers. That's why your rivers never run out. There's no one ever thought, where does all this water come from? Because when you trace it back to source, it's a puddle coming out of the ground. And you think, how did that make a river that never runs out? Well, it's not just the one, is it? It's all of them doing it.
Ah, okay, okay. Can I put your link to your Discord in the chat?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah.
Okay, just a sec. All right, so this is link to. Now, is this AMP or FPV, the Discord?
It's APM Research
APM.
Discord. Yeah. APM Research Discord server, yeah.
Okay, just a sec. All right, chaps, there's that one. Okay, so you would like people to contribute to that if you can. This is great because this is what it's all about, and I love the way you're like you said, we were chatting earlier, you were saying that this isn't about you, it's about the work, it's about the collaboration, and that's what's important here, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone coming to APM Research, you're not going to be a viewer, you're going to be a researcher. We're going to
Right.
teach you how to research. Yeah, we're going to give you homework.
Yeah.
So Graham said that. He says, every time I come away from yours, I feel like I've always got homework to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're just trying to give you tips we're not bullshitting you people. We want you
Right.
to go out there and see this yourself. You can prove this to
Yeah.
yourself.
Right. Yeah, that's brilliant. So, I mean, like, are there some places in the UK, for example, that are prominent energetic centres? I mean, for example, Salisbury or London even.
Well, I've done the Glastonbury tour. Do you want to see the Glastonbury tour one?
Yeah, of
That's a
course.
nice one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show
Yeah.
that one. I'll show that one.
There's something about Glastonbury which this is one of my things. I mean, I love Asia, I love being in Thailand, but I have this hankering to get back to England as well because, yeah, I think that this is it. I mean, there is so much to the ancient culture that is still there that we could do more work to research on. So.
I'll let that one there play in the background.
Okay.
You have to let me screen share, Nick.
It should be.
Is it?
Sorry. Hang on. I've got to go back to it. Maybe. I can see the video playing on the Hangout, and it seems to be showing.
Yeah, it's working now. Yeah,
okay.
You can see it. Yeah. So this was a decode of Glastonbury tour rainbow. There's a rainbow. The tour is actually created by the technology. It's the interface event. It's actually the Vesica Pisces overlap. So if you look at Glastonbury tour, it's like an eye shape. Now, if you look at the halos on the top left of that video playing there, you'll see the overlap of halos creates the eye. That's the Vesica Pisces. So it's the Vesica Pisces that helps create landmass. It's it's pushing landmass up. The forces involved in this technology working is what's creating the TORs. You'd be surprised how many TORs there are around the world. But
All right.
this is Glastonbury. To hold on, I'll forward it a bit past the text,
Okay.
and yeah, here we are. I'll let it play from there, so you can see this is Glastonbury TOR.
Okay.
A video done by Drone HD TV Drone Journey. He let me use his drone footage so you can see what's going on here. Now you see the fog on the ground in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
It creates a circle around this site.
Ah. Okay.
You know why? Because there's a big halo there.
I
These
see.
halos create the fog, the mist, and the clouds, Nick. This is
Right.
what you're going to start to
Uh-huh.
realize now where all these effects of nature actually come from. They've got
Okay.
they've all got a common cause.
Right, and it's not because we're on a spinning globe.
Nope, nope. No spinny ball stuff here. No.
Yeah.
So you can see it there. You can see it's famous for it. This place is actually
Yeah.
famous for this, and its name in Celtic is Island of Apples.
Oh,
The
really?
apple, yeah, the apple being the Thomas field, of course.
Ah,
And
okay.
this site here is the eye. It's the eye in between the Vesica Pisces of those two halos overlapping.
Sorry, I've not heard that word before. The Evisica Pisces. How do you spell that?
Yeah. The Vesica, Vesica, and then Piscis, Vesica Pisces.
Okay, Evisica
It's
Pisces.
very it's very sacred a name from probably every culture out there. They might have a different name for it, but it's referring to how the two halos overlap,
I
and
see.
it creates this special place in the center, which is what
Right,
this is on top of. This site here is sitting on top of two big rainbows or two halos down below ground.
right. Okay, we got a
And that
question. We got a question from Dirt Wizard. Do the rainbows follow the energy grid lines?
That's what we're going to find out when we map them. We haven't got enough mapped to say yes or no on that yet. But
Okay,
these do create the energy lines.
I see. Okay,
The energy lines might not be straight lines. They might be like a sine wave. Overlapping lines of these.
right. Okay, gotcha.
We've
Yeah.
we've got that to work out yet.
Okay.
When we get enough, if we can get enough rainbows in one spot, and we have the ley lines for that spot, they might make more sense. Because my question now would be, well, how did they get the ley lines? What did they use to mark the ley lines?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to use the rainbows to do it. What did they use?
Well, I know divining, with a couple of rods to find water. I know that works from experience, So
Yeah, I've
there
read that.
is,
Yeah.
yeah, this, and yeah, obviously there's the connection with water, energy, flow.
Hmm.
Uh, like you said earlier, there's always a well or a spring in these places, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Even this site's got one. It's and what you're going to find is it's always at node 3 on the halo. That's something else we'll be teaching the Rainbow Warriors. Once they can mark these big rainbows down,
mm,
once we can find a sacred well anywhere within that circle that we've got on the map, we know
mm,
that's node 3 on the halo. We can then configure the halo correctly to match what it should look like. Going by the template we've got already.
okay. You're full.
Unless there's different configurations which we haven't come across yet, because
Right.
everyone is coming across sacred water sites.
I see.
So it's
Yeah.
tying in nicely. We're slowly but surely adding more and more pieces to the picture for them to look for and decode and prove to themselves out in nature.
Wow, yeah, fascinating. You used the word octave just now, just talking about those
The
circles.
octaves, yes,
Uh,
yeah.
so what do you mean by that?
Right, the octaves, I would call them the octaves of creation. You see that animation playing now, the
Yeah,
spirals coming up and going down. Right,
yeah,
so the ones coming up are from Eve's cathode, and they would rise up into the sky.
yeah.
The ones that create the lunar wave are atoms in the sky, and they would come down the way. This is what's creating your torus field. This is what's taking
Okay,
place underneath the rainbow. This happens inside every rainbow.
I see, I see. Which again, you're saying is not creating; it's being revealed.
It's
This
been
torus field is
revealed,
being
yeah,
revealed.
yes.
Yeah.
Water did not create it. No, water and sunlight help reveal it, like that one there.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. It does make a lot more sense to me, and I love it because this is, again, this is what we're really looking at. We're looking at the esoteric nature
Well,
of.
it is, that it is, Nick, isn't it? We're outside. We're getting people to go outside. We can, you can still be disabled and help us with this. You can look out
Right.
your window and oh, I've got a rainbow, perfect thing. Yeah, I can help
Yeah.
APM Research. Anyone can help with this. It
Yeah.
empowers you. You get empowered to go outside and start researching
Yeah.
these sacred sites that's sacred to you. Everyone's got sacred sites in every nation.
Right.
Well, all we're doing is saying, go outside, find your rainbow, look for node 3. You're going to find the sacred well there. Then you've got one marked. Now you need to find all the others that connect to that one. There's that one there on the screen. That's got another one that connects to it to create that hill in the first place.
Okay.
I found, I've also found one in North Wales at Llangollen. The same setup.
Really?
Exactly the same setup. Yeah.
Wow.
So this empowers the individual, the researcher, to go out there and see it themselves. And how cool is that, Nick, that anyone anywhere in the world can go outside and prove this to themselves?
Oh, that's brilliant. That's what it's all. Yeah,
Doesn't matter where you are. You go outside and follow our research. You're going to start seeing what we're telling you.
Right.
They reside where you see them. They get revealed by water, ice, and sunshine. Not created by. No, they're revealed by. Big difference. It's the same. It's the same what they said about our ancestors, Nick. They say our ancestors were worshipping false gods or numerous gods. No, there's a very fine line between worship and glorification, don't you think? Because what we're seeing around the world is not worship; it's glorification in many forms, many expressions of glorifications of how this technology works and what it represents is what we're looking at. Oh, they're very sneaky how they worded it. We weren't worshipping nothing. We were glorifying this. This is what we were doing. Big difference.
Yeah. It is, yeah. That's what this is all about, really. It's yeah. You can see why we're being totally distracted from that way of thinking when this is the kind of education we should be being given from an early age, rather than what we are being told. And obviously, it becomes evident that the distractions are deliberate, and I think we all have this intrinsic desire to know where we are, who we are, what we're doing here, but it's from age dot. It's just kind of that's removed from.
When they reset the calendar, that's when they started re-educating us on complete bloody nonsense and where we're at today with it, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're left scratching our heads, wondering what the hell's going on.
This.
You see this bit on the screen here, Nick. This is another important one. I tell people to go and map the rainbows. The globers say, "Oh, I can create a rainbow with my hosepipe." Yeah. Do you want to know why you can create one with your hosepipe? Of course you do. Look at this image here. You spray a hosepipe, you're going to reveal a rainbow. And what it is, it's the full-size one. You're standing in its field. We walk, drive, and fly through these electromagnetic spheres every day. They're everywhere. This is the sun focusing it down into water. That's what it does.
Right.
When you spray your hosepipe, if you see one there, there's a full-size real one behind you now. Because it's this sphere that created it. And look where the angle of the sun. That's why it's doing it.
Yeah.
And as the sun moved, the angle of that one would move as well.
I've got a question. A question from Ashman Karoz. Can you explain the rainbows we reveal in our houses?
In his houses?
I don't know. I've never seen a rainbow in my house. But
how is he revealing them in houses? Is he using a hose and water in his house, or?
I don't know.
What I've just said there will happen anywhere. Electromagnetism penetrates everything. So if you can get light and water in a room, you should be able to locate a rainbow. I don't think a house is going to block it.
That's true. It's like all just like Wi-Fi or whatever. It's there. It's just it's in our air, isn't it? This electromagnetic.
If it means from a prism or something, then that's just the prism itself, recreating the lights or the colours of the spectrum. That's not actually related to this, is it? This is something else. You can see there. Look, see the wind bowing towards. See the tree bending towards it, Nick.
Yeah.
There's. Hold on, I'll pause it there because there's some good clues there. See that? Right, watch this. Trees will bow towards them. I've said this in videos. You watch this tree, and you can see the top of it bending towards there. That one, look, the wind's blowing towards it.
Oh, yeah.
And this next one, where's it at? There on the left. See it? That little tree bending towards it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So they physically draw the air towards them. It's spiraling that much. It's pulling all the air out of the atmosphere towards it. So this is what's the winds will rush towards it. That's where it says the weather vane will point right at it. And not only that, Nick. If you look at trees that have got a bend in them, they lean in a certain direction. They're leaning towards the nearest angel.
Okay.
My pear tree is pointing right at the big one that's in the city.
Really?
It's pointing right at it. My pear tree. Yeah, it leans towards it. So even plants have got a tendency to lean towards the nearest one.
Well, that's true. You'll see trees that have been bent because they're constantly being battered by a wind going in a certain direction.
Yeah. And like that there, you can see the air patches there. They're always on the opposite side of the rainbow, and I put that down to the winds howling through that direction. It strips it bare. We've noticed that on a lot of trees,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it's like when you look at
and
the
there,
way,
look,
go on.
and if you look there, that was a summer capture of mine. Look, it was I'll go back a sec. Yeah, so we've got leaves on that tree. Look, it's a summer capture, right? Because all the leaves are there. Yeah. Keep watching, and you'll see a winter capture with no leaves, and still the same rainbow.
Okay.
There, see it? No
Oh,
leaves.
yeah.
Look, we're in winter, and it's the same rainbow.
I see. This is brilliant. Yeah. I was going to say,
And you notice,
go on.
and you can see the way the trees are bending with the wind. I thought, oh, it's wild today. What's going on? And I thought, this one's very active all of a sudden. There's lots of clouds are being sucked towards it. They're going to get drawn towards it. So I was looking around, wondering, this one's become very active all of a sudden, and I looked up and seen the moon. So it was that caused it. To me, it switched on to shepherd this luminary across.
Okay. You've made me.
This is where the shepherding role seems to fit in with it. The moon's now come into this part of the grid, and all the ones in my area activated in a supporting role for this thing going across. Because once it had gone, it all calmed down again.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to show something else kind of important there, which is...
Yeah, I was trying to find different ways of detecting them.
Okay.
Like this, what we're showing you here, a bit of wire with an LED on. If it's under, there's a USB charging dock underneath that. That's why it's making it flash.
Okay.
But I was wondering if I made some of these and I walked across certain sites, would it start flashing all of a sudden? I've never tried it. I've never gone out. I wish I'd was put one on the dashboard in my car.
And it
starts flashing. I've gone over one.
Okay.
If it works.
Okay. Brilliant. Yeah,
or even walk around the compass and see if suddenly you get sudden changes going on, because when they're operational, their north poles get elevated into the sky. You see a tornado, and it lifts heavy objects like trucks and grids and things like that. You think that's a lot of power to lift metal like that.
Yeah.
It's because the North Pole, Eve's North Pole, is now elevated above, and it's causing things to be drawn towards it. Okay. That's why things lift. That's why things are lifting up. It's the halo above it drawing them. So what is happening there, Nick? You've got a localized North Pole. There's something we've never heard of before. Right. A localized North Pole.
Yeah.
And as it moves across the map, things are going to react to it. That's what's happening with tornadoes.
I see.
It's not the wind blowing things up in the sky. It's the North Pole of Eve being high up in the sky, trying to draw, and it's drawn all the metalwork upwards, or it's trying to.
Right. I see. Sorry, there's a question. A confirmation from Ashman Carols there. He says, my question is that when you grab a small mirror and spray bottle, and under the light bulb you spray and it reveals a rainbow. So, okay, you're talking about using artificial light, I suppose.
Well, the light in your home is actually created from this technology. It's alternating current, isn't it?
That's true.
The alternating current going through a bulb could, which is basically a little sphere, So yeah,
Mm.
I would not be surprised if you saw them colours associated with alternating current because it's part of the same thing.
Right.
These do generate like alternating currents. This is where the alternating current comes from. It's this technology it creates it.
Right. Oh, I can see. Okay, is that a reflection in the water of the rainbow there, or is that actually doing its? Oh, that's the full
Um,
circle, or is that the full circle?
yeah, this is a full circle small one. This is in Sweden.
Oh
This is the
wow.
video. This is the video playing now. See a full circle one here with his
Yeah.
drone, and it's not. Isn't it? You can see it's not that big. Look.
No. No. Oh, that's fascinating. Yeah. Wow.
And
Um.
look, it's not moving away, Nick. It's sitting there quite happily doing what it does,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're revealing it, aren't we? We're
Yeah.
revealing that it lives there, basically.
Uh.
And
That's.
and especially when you find one, pay attention to the sites because all these what you're going to find is all of our sacred sites are marked in rainbows.
I see.
What
Okay.
this is what you're going to find now. All of these sacred sites, that's churches, cathedrals, star forts, castles, temples, pyramids, and any other
Right.
sacred site you can think of.
Yeah.
They're all marked in rainbow sites.
Okay. So they knew
So
what they
it's
were doing. Yeah.
they mark the sites. It's what's below that's sacred, not what's above. And what's above is a belief system, so ignore that. It's what's
Okay.
below that's being marked. Yeah, so
That's
yeah,
a
that's
really
the
really important
creative
point.
belief systems, isn't it? This is important information, and it gives you a better idea of what's going on and how they tried to hide it all.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right,
Because
man.
what I've found here, in where I live, I found there's a castle that's built on top of a Roman fort, which is built on top of a Celtic fort. And you think, wait a minute, well, they're all fighting over here. No,
Yeah.
they're all marking the rainbow. They're
Right.
all marking this rainbow. That's the
Right.
only thing that's there.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
so
I
it's
was
below there that they're actually marking, isn't it?
right. Yeah, I was doing some research into some of the sites in Paris. For example, Notre Dame and some of the
Mm,
Palace of Versailles.
yeah.
These are on sites which were, yeah, they were already sacred sites, and
Well, I would say the Hunchback's probably a reference to is the Taurus field.
oh, really?
Yeah. So,
Ah,
look at Notre Dame and see if there's a rainbow there. I guarantee there will be.
right.
I,
Yeah.
I, I literally can guarantee it just thinking about it now.
Right, right. So there's this is it where these people have these empires have their seats of power. There's obviously
Yes. So they've basically gone around, took over the ancient sites, and, stole what's there and marked it down as them, invented
right.
religion. They want you on your knees worshipping, or they sit back and reap the rewards of ripping off this technology and selling us it's electric. You see what's going on?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, they're making us pay for the bloody electric that should be
Yeah,
free. Yeah,
yeah. Like
yeah,
like one conscience says, we're the only
yeah.
species dumb enough to pay to live here. It's true, isn't it?
So true. Yeah, it's nuts when you think about it. Yeah, how lost we are in that respect. Yeah.
But and even knowing what I know now, I mean, I haven't paid my electric bill for over a year now. They've just actually blacklisted me.
Oh, really? Sweet.
But
Nice
yeah,
one.
because I keep falling out with them. They just make it up and talk a lot of crap. So I stopped paying them. They owe
Okay.
me money as far as I'm concerned. And if
That's
they
it.
get in touch now, I'm actually thinking of saying to them, well, knowing what I know now and that you're ripping off the creator's glory and selling me electric, it feels like I'm buying stolen goods. I don't want to pay for it. Why should I pay for something that the creator gives us for free? You're stealing it and selling it me. I don't feel good about that.
Yeah, yeah. That's so
You
true.
can see you can
Uh,
see where I'm coming from, though. You can see where I'm
Definitely,
coming from with that.
definitely. Well, this is
Because this
what
is what this is what they're doing. This is what it's all about.
absolutely. Yeah, it is about regaining our sovereignty. I saw
You know,
a comment
people
earlier on.
people people mention free. Oh, we can have free energy. You've already got it. Someone's just put a bloody smart meter on the end of it. That's all.
Yeah, yeah,
A bit of cable and a smart meter.
yeah,
That's all man's done.
yeah.
The
True,
rest's already here.
true. Yeah, yeah. And it takes this change of our mindsets to understand that we really have to kind of tune into that understanding, don't we? That yeah, like you
Yeah.
say, they should be paying us. In fact,
Oh
uh,
God, yeah.
yeah,
We
yeah,
have Nick. We have shares in this.
yep,
We are. It's. I'll say it like this. It's the birthright of every human being to know what we live upon,
yeah,
to understand how it works, and to know who created it, and
right.
to share and partake in its grace.
Yes, Yes,
This is not.
definitely.
This should not be copyright to any race, religion, group, or nation. This
Hmm.
belongs to everyone, and as far as I'm concerned, we should be protecting it from people like these.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, this is our world, our world. You know, get that in your head, people. This is our world, not theirs. This
hmm,
is ours. This belongs to us all. We've all got a say in this.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, and you know, to that, what can we say? It's to that ends that we need to kind of focus this on. Like you say, the maps and the models are great, but
Mhm.
it encompasses everything. It encompasses the whole, yeah, our reason for
You
being
know,
here.
we've got to get beyond flat Earth and work out how it works. And you know, that's what we've been
Yeah,
doing for the last 8 or 9 years, trying to
yeah,
show people how the progression of our research and decodings of this technology. I mean, look
right.
at that on the screen. Look at that.
Uh, wow,
It's insane. You
it
know,
is. Yeah,
we're telling people get out there and watch this. This is what's going on. This is
yeah,
this is the technology. You can see it there. Look, there's a halo.
yeah.
Look at that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And that's what I find strange in this so-called community, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone came here looking for answers and
Mm-hmm.
to research and find out how this world works.
Mm.
We discovered the rainbow and all this information I'm telling you about today.
Mm-hmm.
And there's hardly anyone there talks about it. You think, wait a minute, this is a revelation in itself. The rainbow residing where we see them,
Yeah.
that's a revelation in itself. And as far as I'm concerned, it begs all the right questions, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
is it? What is it? Why is it there all the time? Why
Yeah.
does it switch off at 10 o'clock and come back on at 2? What's going on? It begs the right questions, Dick.
Yeah.
This is what we want people doing.
Yeah.
Sooner or
Definitely.
later, sooner or later, some kid's going to go into school and say to the teacher, "Sir, the rainbows reside where you see them, and they can be mapped." "Oh, don't be silly, you silly bugger. Who told you that?" "Well, that one outside the window did, sir. You can't debunk me, sir. Sorry." It's so kids start teaching teachers that this is what's really going on.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. Once it gets into schools that these rainbows reside where you see them, the kids will have a field day with the teachers at school with this.
Yeah.
You can't debunk me, sir. Sorry.
Yeah. Uh, I've
Did
just
you
got.
not know that, sir? So you should know this, sir. You're supposed to be teaching me. I'm now teaching you about rainbows, sir. What's going on?
Hang on. Hang on a minute. Oh, sorry, I just got interrupted by a Skype call. I wasn't expect. You still there?
Yes, the lady.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Uh, yeah, it's throwing me off now. Sorry, I was just one question I was going to have for you regarding this is, like, for example, here in Thailand, like right now it's the dry season and it's very, very still, and it will stay this way for a good few months, and then around just after April, May, then we start to get the monsoon season. So when you were talking about
Yeah,
the winds,
that's your spring, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what would you say is happening maybe beneath the earth to make that
More,
happen? Is there's movement?
more activation of these angels in your part of the grid, and until the sun starts moving up the gates to your location, what you're going to find, like in winter in UK,
Mm-hmm.
we get more storms and it seems a bit more wild compared to what you get in summer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's because the sun's moved further south of the equator, and
Uh-huh.
the angels in the north have got a lot of harder work to do. And plus the atoms aren't active. Remember, that's why it's cold. The atoms bring the heat. They compress cold to generate heat. The atoms, come winter, they're not working. Just the eaves are. That's why it's cold.
Ah, I see. Okay.
So so the eaves are still wisping up the clouds and such, and they go where they go. But the atoms aren't as active because there's no sun here to switch them on.
Okay.
So once the sun crosses the equator, comes up back into say your sector of the
Mm-hmm.
world,
Uh-huh.
your local atoms will start coming up. That's spring, and it'll start the thaw and getting warmer and warmer. This is when you get a bit more storms as well in spring because all the atoms have switched on. And now we're getting
Mm.
electromagnetism in full effect, and nature starts doing what it does. It's pretty wild.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, okay, makes sense. It really does make sense. And that's what I love about this. It's like, yeah, when you look at reality and you've got an alternative explanation to
Yeah.
what we're giving it. So
Like,
yeah,
you
that
know,
makes sense.
watch the wind speeds. You know, keep an eye on the wind speeds. You're going to see sometimes you're going to see. Wait a minute, it says that it's going to double or treble the wind speed at that time of day. Why would it
Right,
do that?
right,
And
yeah,
it's just a timed event.
uh-huh,
They're all
yeah,
running on timers, and you know whatever's going on in the sky, they'll react accordingly. Other than
mm,
that, they've got their own local duties to do, which is
mm,
create your local weather, your nature.
right,
And
yeah,
during national or international events, they're going to be running at higher speed and be quite destructive.
right, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's one way I know. You know, my wife, for example, you know, looks at all this going on. Yeah, like they've got a job to do. The sun, the moon, and whatever's going on. It's
Yeah.
got a job to do. Yeah, it has a
Oh,
purpose.
and it does a fantastic job, doesn't it? Look at it. Look at nature. Take us away, and this place is a beautiful place. Man's
True.
turned it into a war zone, hasn't he? It's a bloody
Yeah,
war zone now.
that's true.
But you
Yeah.
know, this is the we do walk in the Garden of Eden.
Mm,
We
mm,
really do. You know, this
yeah.
technology is creating our nature, our
Mm,
very nature of this world. You know, your grass, everything.
mm,
None of this would exist if it wasn't for this technology. That's what they're going to be shocked by that.
right.
What do you mean? Well, yes,
Yeah.
this is what was this creation is creating all this. You know, what we call in nature is created by this technology and its creator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man's
Yeah.
just hid man's hid the technological aspects of it, and they haven't gone out of the way to hide who the creator even is, because we have no idea who the creator is.
Right. Yeah.
We just know there is. We know there is one. We
Sure.
don't know who.
Yeah.
It might be more than it might be more than one. We have no
Mm,
idea.
mm, yeah. Yeah. This is it. I mean, this is where we should be. You know, as you say, the glory of it, rather
Yeah.
than worshipping it. Yeah,
Hmm.
and I
Oh
think
yeah, yeah,
you know that's a good point, because you know when you look at, for example, the Apollo programs and things like that, anything to do with space and all that, it's about worship, isn't it? You know, that's what we have
it
these.
is. Yeah,
You know,
yeah. You space fantasists.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm laughing, but we were no different 10, 15 years ago. We were just the same as them, believing all that.
Well, yeah, we were born into the
We,
cult. Yeah, couldn't help
yeah,
it.
yeah. We had no reason to question it
Mm.
until this flat Earth topic popped up, did we?
Yeah. So it's all good, and I think the more they try and distract, the more they reveal as well. You know what's really going
Yeah.
on. So
That's the beauty of the rainbows. It's going to beg the right question from people.
yeah,
What is it? Why is it there all the time? What's it doing?
yeah.
It's
Oh,
doing what it's always done. We've just been so ignorant of what it actually is and what it's doing. Not anymore. Not
yeah,
anymore. We see it and we see how it works now. And
yeah.
so that's what we're teaching now. Rainbow warriors. They're going to go out there
Uh-huh.
and change the world. The rainbow warriors are going to be the pivot point in what's good. What the hell's going on in this world? They're going to change the future
Mm,
because more and more are joining, and they're coming from all over the world, Nick. And they can go out there and teach the family and friends. In no time at all will this be around the world, and this knowledge will be known again.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
that's what you're going to find. A lot of people gravitate towards this knowledge and information because I think it's built into us. We recognize it and we know it's true. We know what it is.
we do.
I look at some of this symbology. I've been doodling that since I was a kid. I didn't know what
Really,
it meant when I was a kid, but yeah, you draw these shapes and things. It's built into us.
that's true. Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah. When you doodle, it's spirals and torus
Yeah,
wheels, and
you
yeah,
come up with all this
yeah,
sacred geometry in your drawings and things, and you think, why did I draw that?
yeah,
Stars, even stars, you do things like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, okay.
It's
Hey,
like
my,
it's like it's like something's trying to tell us, come on, remember, come on, hurry up.
yeah, yeah. That's it. The
you know,
clues
the,
are staring us in the
our
face. Yeah.
ancestors. It is, the ancestors don't have to do any face palms anymore. Yes, at last they've got it. Can you imagine that? How long have they been doing face palms? Waiting for us to figure it out.
Yeah. Come on, hurry up.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
there's another thing, Nick. The Hopi prophecy. They talk about the Rainbow Warriors working things out and correcting the world. Well,
Oh, really?
wow, yeah, that was news to me at the time. And I thought, is that for real? But yeah, it
Ah,
does exist. But it makes sense, really. If it's
yeah.
prophecy,
Uh-huh.
then it's happened before, and it's just information. Once we work out what the rainbow is, things will get corrected again.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of what it's telling you. Yeah, well, that's where
Right.
we are today.
Yeah, it's
It's
inspiring
exactly
stuff.
what we're doing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, it
I
is, isn't
mean,
it?
yeah, I've just put your link to Discord again. So, I do have to wrap this up. So
Yeah.
this is absolutely, I really appreciate you taking the time to go through this and explain it, and your enthusiasm is infectious. For sure.
Oh yeah. I see it, the Rainbow Warriors.
Yeah,
You come and have a chat with us, and yeah,
yeah,
it is.
yeah,
It's an exciting time, and it should
yeah,
be.
yeah.
Look what we're revealing again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hang on, let me just okay, I'm just gonna just give me a second to minimize that and get myself back on. So
I'm not
yeah,
here, me and the team. None of us are here to waste people's time. We're just normal people, normal family members, blah blah blah, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, how this world works. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of it now.
I think so. Yeah, despite all the distractions and all that,
Hmm.
yeah, it's it's
Look
good.
at Jason said. Look what Jason said in the chat there.
Hmm.
Jason Tomlinson.
I
He's
never
our
liked
maps
FE.
guy.
I never liked FE. Came to APM to debunk it. Been 8 years now, right? And he said something before that as well, which was FE turned into a shit show over the years. I had one foot out the door until I found APM Research. Nice one, yeah, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, Jason came to debunk us and couldn't, so he joined us.
there you go.
and,
Yeah.
and look at Jason's work. It's progressed his work no end.
Okay.
Hasn't it, Jason?
I'm going to have to, maybe there's a couple of channels I need to kind of go and subscribe to there as well. So I only hope that this is, I'm frozen again now. I only hope that this has helped. I'm just trying to activate that again. Okay, just a second. Yeah, I only hope that this has helped at least point a few people in the direction, and you hopefully you get a few more people involved in the research, and yeah, like I said, you've helped me understand where you've come from a lot more.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I really
Like it
appreciate it.
says, the flat Earth is, flat Earth to us was 10 years ago now. How it
Right,
works is where we're at,
right,
But we don't mind talking about flat Earth. It's still
right,
we are still flat Earthers or
right,
level Earthers, whatever you want to call it. They keep attacking even the name now, don't they, to make a
yeah,
mess,
yeah. But this is
divide and conquer.
yeah, yeah, sure. That's always been the tactic. We could see that coming a mile off as well, because I think a lot
Yeah,
of us
yeah,
had researched all of that and understood that before getting to FE. So, but ultimately we are talking about freedom, aren't we? We're talking about the freedom to
yeah, yes,
explore this realm, to be free from all of the nonsense they're throwing at us, and this is it. And like you said, you want people to try and debunk it, to look into it, see what they can find out, and if you find out something new, that's great. Add it to the mix, isn't it?
yeah. Same with questions. I love questions. You'll find a lot of people out there, they avoid questions because they're scared they can't answer it.
Right.
That doesn't scare me.
No.
You ask me something I can't answer, I'll go and try and find an answer for it for you. If I can't
Yeah.
find it, one of the other team members will. Sooner or later we'll get to
Yeah.
the bottom of it, won't we?
Yeah, for
And
sure.
maybe we'll reveal some more important information in the process.
Hopefully so. Yeah. Yeah. So,
But yeah,
all right.
debunks like Jason put in the video last night. Debunks are welcome, but as long as it's done in the right manner and it's not just taking the piss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not a case of just saying, "Oh no, that doesn't fit with my beliefs." It's like, no, you
yeah.
got
Yeah,
you want to.
stamping your feet's not going to work. You're going to have to speak with data.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So let me just
Yeah,
have a
speak to me
quick
with data.
a quick. So just to see we've got in there. Mighty Atom, thank you. I think you left us now. Luca, thank you for all your comments, Luca. Luca's obviously someone who's part of your team and a Rainbow Warrior there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Jack's dreaming. Thank you. David Banner, always good. Yeah, thanks for that, David Banner. You pointed out capoeira, the Portuguese dancing. Yeah, so we're talking about kind of the, things being hidden. So yeah, Dirt Wizard, Bob Question, who else? Juniper, Dr. Evils, Dean HD, Roger Ledwell. Brilliant. Oh, well, thanks. So sorry about the technical hitches there, but I suspect I've no idea what happened there. Dorian Gray, thanks. Yeah. Who knows why that happened.
Yeah,
But,
shout out from us as well to the chatters, because without them, we wouldn't. Who would we be showing this to? We're hoping they respond to this and react to it and come and join us and join in and see
right.
the world for what it really is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
don't forget to change the title, Nick, or you're gonna have a lot of fishermen turning up.
Well, maybe that's what we need,
Hey,
eh? You know?
isn't that funny that it worked once you changed the name, eh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So fantastic. Yeah. Well, that's Well, maybe like you say, if you want to put this together in a video, feel free to. I don't know if I can. Maybe if I can download what we've done.
Yeah, I'll
And
download the pieces that were made and
okay.
compile it into one.
All right. Brilliant.
Easy to.
Yeah. Okay. Nice one. Okay. So yeah, let's. I'll stay on the line just quickly. Let me just wrap up the stream and then I'll just So I just want to say thank you very much, everyone, for coming in. Really appreciate this and thanks for kind of dealing with my butterfingers as putting up with that. So great. I hope it was enjoyable and informative. And you go and subscribe to FPV if you're not, and of course contribute to the become a rainbow warrior. Contribute to the research. Yeah. So thanks all. Have yourselves a great rest of the weekend. And if I missed you in chat, I'm sorry. Graham9, I saw you there. Hasdek, okay. Hasdek, thank you very much. So thanks a lot, everyone. Let's focus on exploring the realm that we find ourselves in, and look for some real answers rather than some of the nonsense we've been fed by the controllers. So yeah, all right. I'll say goodbye for now.